Giyasas Fili. Kalo Setate. I said, hey friends, welcome to No Kidding. And this was in Greek today. I hope you all liked the first video. This is the second video, and without wasting much time for you all, let's proceed straight away to the sports section. In the sports world, let's talk about the recently concluded prestigious tennis tournament, the US Open. The men's singles title was clinched by a Russian, Daniil Medvedev. But the news that's making to the headlines is the 18-year-old Brit sensation Emma Raducanu. She becomes the first teen qualifier to win a Grand Slam title. Let's know more about the life and world of Emma Raducanu.
Raducanu, ranked 150th, is the first British woman in 44 years to win a slam crown after dispatching 73rd ranked player Leila Fernandez. This showdown of prodigy talents was the first all-teen slam final after 1999 US Open. Raducanu is the youngest US Open champion and also the first US Open women's champion not to drop a set since Serena Williams in 2014. Emma Raducanu was born to a Romanian father and Chinese mother at Toronto, Canada. She shifted to Britain at the age of 2 and began playing tennis when she was 5 years old. Emma's Romanian-born father is said to be a soft-spoken man with a steely side. Insiders say he's known for his no-nonsense approach and has a history of hiring and firing her coaches over the years. The teen and her father reportedly hit tennis balls together in the street during lockdown. Emma has said both her parents demand the best from their children. She said they've been pushy to an extent, not just in tennis but in everything. As a young child, Emma tried her hand at dozens of sports, first starting with ballet before moving on to horse riding, swimming and go-karting. But it was tennis she really excelled at, a skill she first tried when her parents started playing at the local park and dragged her along. Miss Raducanu credits her parents' high expectations for shaping her work ethic. In an interview, she said, "My parents definitely have high expectations. In anything, not even just tennis, I must be the best, do the best I can. They want me to have options. They think my education is very important for my future." Despite her devotion to the sport, the tennis star manages to ace her A-levels too. She told the BBC of the hug her mother gave her when she got home and the dumplings she cooked up in celebration. She also said, "My dad's definitely very tough to please, but I managed to please him today." Isn't she a great example to follow? That's all from the sports world today. Bye-bye.
Well, looks like September is a very exciting month when it comes to history. There are lots of happening. Last time I told you about how the World War II began on 1st September and ended on 2nd September. Now I'll tell you another interesting piece of history. I'm sure you all know that sometimes United States is also referred to as Uncle Sam. Have you ever wondered how this nickname came to United States? Well, it so happens that when the United States Army was waging a war in 1812, there was a meat supplier in Troy who was named as Samuel Wilson. He used to supply barrels of beef to the United States Army. The soldiers used to receive them at the war site, and they were stamped US, which meant it is meant for US Army. But the soldiers used to refer to the grub as Uncle Sam's. That means they had received it from Uncle Sam. And gradually the newspapers started picking up on the story and started a personification of the US federal government as Uncle Sam. That is how the United States federal government has a nickname of Uncle Sam, which is from a beef supplier named Samuel Wilson from Troy, New York. Now, if anybody says Uncle Sam to US, you know that it's not the country, it's the federal government, and you also know from where the name Uncle Sam came. Let's go to the second interesting fact that happened again in the month of September. How many of you all read books? I'm sure all those who are book lovers must definitely have read about the BFG. Yes, the Big Friendly Giant and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Who's the author? Roald Dahl. So, September marks the birthday of Roald Dahl, our favorite author. He was born on 13 September 1916. Now, I'll tell you something about Roald Dahl. His childhood was marked with a lot of tragedy. He was 3 years old when he lost his father as well as his sister. There's something interesting about his life which most of you might not have known. Do you know that Roald Dahl was a fighter pilot? Yes, I'll tell you about him. After high school, he traveled widely, joining an expedition to Newfoundland and later working in Tanzania. In World War II, Roald Dahl joined the Royal Air Force and became a fighter pilot. He flew missions in Libya, Greece and Syria and was shot down in the Libyan desert, suffering serious injuries. Now I'll tell you the interesting part. He saved a piece of his femur bone which was removed in the operation after the accident and used it as a paperweight in his office. Can you believe that? Do you know that femur bone is the biggest bone in the body and the location of a femur bone is the thigh. The bone of the thigh is called a femur bone. So Roald Dahl kept a piece of his femur bone as a paperweight in his office. After he recovered, he was sent to Washington, D.C. as an attaché. There, the writer C.S. Forrester suggested he write about his war experiences. And within 10 days, Dahl had his first publication in Saturday Evening Post. After that, there was no stopping Roald Dahl, and we are thankful to Forrester. This is about what exciting things happened in the second week of September in history. With this, we come to the final section of our video, which is the difficult words. The first difficult word that I use today is showdown, S-H-O-W-D-O-W-N, showdown, which means a final test or confrontation to settle a dispute or an issue. And how do we use it in a sentence? Mary had a showdown with John to settle their issue. That is showdown. The next difficult word of the day is attaché. A-T-T-A-C-H-E. Attaché, which means a diplomat who is sent to another nation to represent the existing nation from where he or she is. So, how do we use it in a sentence? Ravi's father was an attaché at Sri Lanka. It is sort of ambassador also. You can use the word ambassador as well. And it's usually associated again with defense or representing the nation. So the third difficult word for the day is personification. When they are big words, it's easier to break them into two parts in order to learn the spelling. So let's go with personification. So P-E-R-S-O-N-I, personi, F-I-C-A-T-I-O-N, fication, personification. Personification means associating something human to something that's inhuman, something that is not human. but having the qualities of human. For instance, in his poem, William Wordsworth personifies the flowers when he says that the flowers are dancing. So, dancing is a human emotion which he is attaching to the flowers. That is personification. The fourth word for the day is grub. Grub actually is a slang word for food. Grub means food. So, food is very simple to use. So, instead of using food, let's say grub, which sounds more stylish. So, I can say this hotel serves some excellent grub or some lip-smacking grub. This is how we conclude the difficult words today. Hope you all love the videos here at No Kidding. Please do not forget to like, subscribe and ask your friends to follow us as well. And do write in the comment section whatever you want and we'll try to accommodate your needs and requests. Please do email us at nokidding@gmail.com. Do not forget to mark the extra naughty nerdy N in the spelling of No Kidding. Thank you and keep watching. Take care. Bye-bye. Avio in Greek.